Okay, so let's talk about the bust qualifications. What do you need to be? You know my bust qualifications. Only first rounders can be bust. Okay. What is your qualification of a bust? I asked if Chase Young was a bust. Okay. Says injury prone can constitute a bust. All right. Okay. When he's been healthy, he's produced, and you can see he's good. Yes, he was injured and not productive, so he a bust because he drafted 2. Consistent. Based on injury, he's a bust. Okay. So that's still kind of wide. So let me just book in Chase Young. Now, why are we talking about Chase Young? 1, because I want him on the team. 2, because we have the Jameson Williams comparison. Okay. So let's bring in another guy, Jeff Okudah, drafted directly after Chase, certified bust, right? Certified bust. Okay. Chase Young is a bust because the chat says 70%, 76% no out of, and 24% yes. We got 46 votes. He's like J-Mo, both guys been hurt. Okay. Now, here's the way that I qualify a bust. First round pick anywhere between 1 and 32. Okay. But I'm really going to kind of scrutinize 1 through 15. 1 through 15, especially at top 10. That top 10, you're going to be under magnifying glass. Okay. So the question is Chase Young a bust? I'm going to say no. Why would you say, well, how can you say no? Well, if you book in Chase Young's career thus far, you have Defensive Rookie of the Year. You have an ACL injury. That injury has not fully healed. And when it did this year, guess who has more sacks than Aiden Hutchinson as of the making of this video? Chase Young. Hard to call Defensive Rookie of the Year a bust. It really is. He came in, did what he was supposed to do, took a brutal knee injury, healed from that knee injury fully, by the way, and is producing on a pace to outdo his rookie year. Okay? Now let's compare that to Jeff. I got a nickname for him. Some of y'all ain't gonna like it. It's called Jeff O'Busta. Jeff O'Busta, as in Jeff the Bus Okudah, right? It seems like when we start talking about Lions fans, you cannot use the B word. Who you calling a bus? UNITY. You cannot use the bus word. I don't see how a guy, when healthy, who's producing after winning Defensive Rookie of the Year is a bust. I can see, however, a guy who has barely taken the field in 2.5 years, and when he's out there, he's hot potatoing with the ball. Now, I'm not going to give him the bust status, but I understand if you do. And I'm not mad at you. That's your opinion. That's your opinion. Chase Young, if you're saying he a bust, that's your opinion. This is just a nice little debate among fans of what qualifies a bust. For me, first round pick, production, and injury. If you produce when you're not injured and you haven't been injured, you haven't been in a career, you haven't been in the NFL but 4 years. And in 4 years, he has 12.5 sacks when he's actually out there on the field. Can't call that a bust. I cannot call that a bust. Aiden Hutchinson is in year 2. Aiden Hutchinson has 13.5 sacks in year 2. And he ain't even done with year 2 yet. If Aiden Hutchinson would have got his knee caved in, okay, in the Carolina game and was out the rest of the year, would you call Hutch a bust? And if not, why? And if so, why? It's a good conversation, man. Can't dispute those facts regarding Chase. I think he's a bust. We love Hutch. Okudah was hurt all the time, and when he was on the field, he never produced. Young, on the other hand, has produced when not hurt. There you go. There you go. That's what I'm saying. And we ain't talking about a bruise here or a toe jam stub there. We talking about a brutal knee injury that takes a solid year to recover from, right? Now, if it happened again, Emmanuel Mosley, but he's something different, right? I just think, and this goes in defense of J-Mo to some extent, right? It ain't for me on whether or not Jameson Williams is a bust. If I think he's a bust, which I don't yet, that's not for me. That's for him to prove on the field that he's not that. I don't come up with this stuff. I did not create the title. I'm just the guy that talks about it. Jameson Williams' job is to change the narrative. If you're late to work every day, you going to get fired. Period. It don't matter what position you're in, unless you own the company, you going to get fired. That's it. If you're an employee and you come to work when you feel like it, when you were hired to do a certain job at a certain time, you're not going to have that job for long, right? Are you a bust? Probably at that job. I think sometimes we got to take the emotion out of football. It's hard. It is hard. But sometimes we got to look at things. We want the guy to succeed, and every opportunity, it's like every one thing he does right, he does 10 things wrong. And I don't care, because the NFL will move on. We did it with Jeff Okudah. We did it with DeAndre Swift. We're going to do it with him. We're going to do it with him. It's up to him to change the narrative and change his story. I don't have nothing to do with it.